You want to be with you? Or you...
Hey guys, how's it going? Happy New Year. It's been a long time since we've done a live.
It's 12 o'clock, noon Central, and so happy afternoon.
Yes, happy afternoon, everybody. All right, so I want to wait. I see a couple of people on here. Please do this for us. As you pop on, say hey. Tell us where you're tuning in from because one, we want to be able to know and support you, our customers who we love and adore. And the other thing is, I want to make sure that we can see your questions. T is going to turn our computer around. We're going to be able to see you. And I want to make sure I'll have to, okay, there we go. Awesome, Claire. All right, Claire House. Awesome. So as you pop on here, say hello, tell us where you're tuning in from. And I do want to share with you, we're going to put the schedule up on the website so that way you can see it. But this is a schedule that we have created over the next 5 weeks. Can you see that? And so we plan on breaking out your kitchen and what you can do each week. This week, we're going to be focused on cabinets. We're going to show you 3 different finishes. We've never shown you before.
Have we
Have we?
done
No, we haven't. So it's great.
that? Oh, that's well.
It's gonna be great. The other thing is, after we show you one of the applications, we're gonna cut to our artist in residence that we all know and love, Leah, and she's gonna show us her kitchen that she has just gotten finished doing in the Miracle Paint. She's gonna walk us through how she used her sprayer. She's gonna show us what she did and just kind of some tips and tricks so that way you can be successful as well. But here's the other thing, and a lot of people, for us, and I will just share this, part of my vision and mission for Amy Howard at Home for us in 2025 is that we want to take you on a journey of educating you, but also we're going to be introducing a lot of new products and things because we want to be able to allow you to be able to be your own designer, to be able to start doing your own wall coverings, your own drapes, your own paint, everything to be able to transform your home to where it's a beautiful space, but that you haven't spent a fortune. I don't know if you know, but the home, as far as really adding more value to your house, your kitchen is it. It is proven in real estate. If your kitchen is killer, if it looks fantastic and somebody gets emotionally excited about it, your house has a better chance of selling and for more money. So the investment that you're going to make in redoing your kitchen, that we're going to take you from doing, I hate my kitchen to,
I love my kitchen.
I love my kitchen. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to start with the cabinets. So we're going to go over these 3 finishes and we want to kind of stay on task and on target because we've got a lot of stuff to cover. And we're going to have a cabinet guide that we have spent a lot of time and effort in putting it together. T has done a fabulous job. I'm going to give her a shout out. Mm-hmm. And we're going to share that with you as far as real details and step out. So let's show them the before real quick.
Okay.
So we're going to have the schedule up for you. Next week, we're going to be going over tile. A lot of you may not realize that you can redo your tile. We have a lot of new products that we're going to be able to show you how to do that as well. So we want to show you, I was real excited. We found this cabinet for $24 at Goodwill. But this color, and what did you say you think this was? This is actually a Henrodon piece.
Maple.
But this maple color, a lot of colors that might have a little bit too much red in it. And a lot of folks love that restoration hardware look. So we wanted you to see the before. I'll tell you what, I'm going to hold this. Oh, and I'm going to get the other one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the first finish that we're going to show you. I'm going to hold this. Can you see? Okay, hold on. Can you see? All right. So there's the before on the top. And here's the after on the bottom. This is live, guys, okay? There's no production crew. It's Gene and I&T. All right, so there's the before, and here's the after. All right, babe, you can go in and put that down. So I want to be able to show them. All right, so if you'll hold that up, so I just want them to be able to see. So if you don't want to paint your kitchen cabinets completely, if you want to be able to just have a really pretty finish like this, that's durable, easy, and really can elevate, I'm going to show you, where's my, hey T, do you know where my faux marble is? That I had it over here.
Is it underneath that blue wallpaper?
It is. Grab that. So we're going to show you in week 3 how to be able to create some countertops with your Formica, and it will be beautiful with that. So we're going to walk you through on this first finish how to be able to create kind of a restoration hardware finish. So as you're on here, make sure, share this video, tag some good friends, and you might even offer, you want to say, be a really good friend, offer to help someone redo their kitchen. Say, hey, Karen, whatever your really good friend's name is, say, I'll come and help you do your kitchen if you'll help me do mine. Did you watch Amy and Jean Howard on Amy Howard at Home? Here's the link. So share this video, tag some good friends that you know want to be able to redo their kitchen and make a kitchen that they love. And then your name is going to go in for a drawing, and we're going to be giving away some of the products that we're using today just by sharing the video. So, all right, so I'm going to go in and turn this down. As you pop on here, say hey, and then here's the other great thing. We kind of put our money where our mouth is. When we teach you how to do something, we always give you a code because we want you to be able to have a discount in order to be able to buy the product today. So for the next 3 days, you'll be able to use this code. It's I Hate My Kitchen 20, and you can get 20% off of the products that we're using today. The milk paints, the miracle paints, the one step, the waxes, the brushes, clean slate, and anyway, there's a whole lot of them. So we're going to have it where you can get 20% off on those. And then that way you can watch the video again to be able to go through it. So as you pop on, say, hey, tell us where you're tuning in from, and let's get started. All right, so the first finish, I'm going to go on and turn this down. So that way you can see. I'm going to move this over so that way you've got a clear sight. All right, so if you want to, let's make sure we can see that. All right, so this is, you see the color that we're dealing with here. And a lot of cabinets that people have, they're that kind of yellowy color, maybe they're kind of orange. And Jean, what's the whole point of doing an overglaze of a color so that way we can have a gorgeous cabinet like we just showed them?
Well, one, if we do the overglaze, it's going to do a couple of things. One, we're going to get a different color. And two, it's also going to add depth. So you're going to get more depth in that finish by doing an overglaze as opposed to just doing a stripping it, restaining, refinishing it.
Right. And the other thing is too, we don't want you, if you've got maple cabinets, if you've got oak cabinets, if you've got kind of this color wood. Now, if you have melamine cabinets, this finish will not work. This is for folks that have kind of that orangey, yellowy cabinet that you want to be able to get it rid of and you want to feel like you've updated it.
Yeah, many times it's oak. A lot
Yes,
of times it's
agreed.
be an oak cabinet from the 70s, 80s.
All right, so we're going to be working with 2 colors. Do you want to tell them what those are?
Yes, well, and they're both one-step paints. One is our Lux Lacquer.
Lux
I
Gray.
mean,
We're working with are Lux Gray and Park Avenue. Lux Gray and Park Avenue, one step. That's what we're working with on this finish. All right.
and then we'll also be using our glazed over.
All right. So you're going to mix those together. So go on and show us.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is what I've already pre-poured. We've got 3 parts of the Lux Gray to 1 part of the Park Avenue. So 3 parts of the lighter and 1 part of the darker.
That's going to give you that really pretty color that, well, basically a lot of people don't know, but green, the color green cancels out red. So there's a red undertone that you see a lot of times on these cabinets that people don't like. And what that does is that cancels out the red and it gives you a really pretty kind of restoration hardware finish.
Yes. So let's go ahead and let's mix the 2 together.
So if you're wondering parts, we usually will say 3 parts of one color, and 1 part of the other. You can use a measuring cup. You could or you could do this.
We like using these quart plastic cups because they do have the measurement indicators on there so you know how much you're using.
All right.
So we'll go ahead and.
Oh, you need that?
I
Okay,
do
I'm
need
so
that.
sorry.
Pour that in.
All right. So that way you can see the color. All right.
And so once we've done that, then we're going to use the glazed over. Now, let's say you had 2 ounces. Once you mix the 2 paints together, the 2 colors, you've got 2 ounces. What you're going to do is you're going to add 2 ounces of your glazed over. If you ended up with 4 ounces total of paint, you're going to use 4 ounces of glazed over.
So it's 1 part paint, 1 part glazed over.
Yes.
Awesome.
So we pour that in.
So tell everybody, what does the glazed over do?
Well, your glazed over is think of it as kind of your carrier. It is mixing that paint up. It's making it a little more translucent. It's also going to make it where, again, you'll see through that to give you a little bit more depth.
Is it going to give them more time to work it?
It'll give you a little more time to work it, and then also.
And that's a really important process when you start doing these cabinets, because this is a very satisfying finish. And a lot of you that buy our products, you love flipping furniture. This is a great finish to be able to do on a piece of furniture, as well as your kitchen cabinets.
And so whatever amount of glazed over you used, we're going to use the same amount of water. So if you used 2 ounces of glazed over, we're going to add 2 ounces of water.
So let's go over the formula. So it's 1 part paint, 1 part glazed over, and 1 part water.
Yes. But remember, when we mix that paint, guys, I hope you've got your writings, your notebooks and your pens, because remember when we made our color, because that's the first thing you have to do.
Right.
We take our color and we do 1 part of the darker color, 3 parts of the lighter color. Mix those together. That's your actual paint color.
Right.
The 1 part paint, 1 part glazed over, 1 part water.
All right, so now the first thing you need to do, and T, could I have you hand us the clean slate? I just want to show everybody. The very first thing you need to do when you're getting ready to do your kitchen cabinets, whether you're painting them, whether you're going to do an overglaze finish like this restoration hardware finish that we're showing you, you need to wipe them down with clean slate. I don't know that a lot of you know this, but Jean and I have flipped 14 houses in our marriage. We've been married for 33 years and we have flipped 14 houses. So when you go in and you see these kitchen cabinets or a piece of furniture, most of the time they have used things like pledge,
liquid gold.
Liquid gold was on almost everything. And so that was their way of cleaning down things in the 80s. I don't know a household that didn't have liquid gold in it. Everybody give a shout out. Do y'all remember liquid gold? So what we need to do, the clean slate is a furniture refinisher's cleaning agent. It is not like a mineral spirits because quite frankly, mineral spirits is not going to get wax off. The whole point of the clean slate is it removes wax.
Well, and your mineral spirits is a petroleum base, but because of that, it will leave a waxy finish or
Yes.
a waxy residue,
Yes.
which will not allow the paint to attach to your surface.
All right. So a lot of people use things like crud cutter or tell them why they shouldn't use crud cutter.
Same thing with that. There's surfactants in there, again, that will repel the paint from being able to adhere to the surface.
All right. So now we've got our glaze ready and we're going to go in and apply it.
All right. We're going to use just a sponge brush. Think of this, it's almost like a stain in the fact of how you apply it. We just want to get a nice even coat. Matter of fact, I'm going to use a little more water on that.
Guys, as you pop on here, please say hello. Tell us where you're tuning in from. And don't forget, share this video and tag some good friends. And then that way your name is going to go in for a drawing because we're going to be giving some products away. All right.
Then next, we're going to take a cotton rag.
Okay.
And the only thing I'm doing is just picking up the excess, but it's also evening out our glaze, our mixture.
So guys, as you're doing this, you need to work on one door or one drawer at a time. And you want to make sure that it's laying horizontally.
And now I've taken just a clean, dry chip brush, and all I'm doing is just lightly, very, very little pressure going over this.
So now this is called a negative tool.
Yes.
It's not a positive tool. So the brush that Gene put on with the sponge brush was a positive tool, meaning he was putting paint on. Now he's removing paint.
Yes. And I've also got another clean cotton rag to be able to offload that paint from my brush so that I can.
Already, look at the color. Look at the color change. Can you guys see that? Look at the color change in that. This already feels updated because we've gotten rid of the orange. And part of that is the ability to be able to cancel out. You've got to have the right color. But I love that color.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and you
beautiful.
can do a couple of things. One, let this completely dry, give it about anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. The longer, the better.
Keep talking.
I don't.
They can hear you.
So again, as you see, we're expediting in real time.
I wanted to get the glare off of that being wet. I wanted you to be able to see. Look at that. Awesome. Love that. Don't y'all love that? Do you see the difference already? So now they have a couple of options, like on the drawers that we have on our piece that we got from Goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
We did 2 glazes.
Yeah.
Talk to everybody about that.
So we can do a second over this. What it'll do, one, it'll lighten this up even more and make more of that orangey yellow go away, or we can leave it alone and keep it just as it is.
So now after this is done, it's dried, what do we need to do as far as the last step to make sure that our cabinets are sealed and we can use them on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, we can use our matte sealer because keep in mind what we've done, even when this dries, it's not durable. It is something that you're going to have to seal it in order to be able to give it protection and keep it from, especially if you're cleaning it, you don't want to wipe the finish off.
All right, so the great thing about the matte sealer, if you have not used our matte sealer, it is completely matte. Like you won't see it after you put it down. It is water-based. And what this does, using the matte sealer in a combination with wax, this is sealing the finish, but then also the wax is going to give you a really pretty patina, and a sheen on this is very natural. We prefer this over coming and putting some type of really glossy polyurethane on top of this. That makes it look, how do I say that without offending anybody?
Shiny. Although you could, if you want it shiny, you can use a high gloss, but we prefer a low finish. It just looks more
like a high-end cabinet finish.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's a good way of saying that. All right. So I just want to show everybody. Can you see that? So this is the matte sealer that we're putting on.
And, I'm using our synthetic tapered brush.
So again, when you're doing your kitchen cabinets, you're going to take the doors off of the hinge and you're going to lay them and have a place that you can lay them flat in your kitchen or your garage, wherever you're working. Our garage and our studio is our workspace. Talk to everybody as far as how you're applying this.
So I can put, and I prefer to use 2 thin coats as to 1 heavy coat.
Okay. Do they have to worry about brush strokes showing up with this matte sealer?
No, you really don't, because if you do it right, it won't have much, if any. If you do have some, after it dries, you can go back and sand it with some 220 sandpaper to smooth it out.
All right, so we put 2 coats of matte sealer. This is going to dry within about 30 minutes. It's water-based. You can clean it with just soap and water as far as out of your brush.
And one of the things too, you see how I'm just going back and lightly brushing
Long,
this
clean
out.
strokes.
But what you don't want to do is keep brushing, brushing, brushing in one area and overwork that area.
What would you say is one of the biggest mistakes people make when they are redoing their cabinets? I think it's applying too much paint,
Just applying too
or
much.
too much wax, or too much
It's
of anything.
Too much.
Yes.
And then also overworking an area.
Right. All right. So let's draw this down. I want you to see. Can you see how glossy it is? I want you to see it will literally dry down to where it is completely, look, it's completely matte. You will not have a sheen at all, but it's giving you the protection that you need on your cabinet before we actually do our last coat. All right, so now, good deal. All right, can you see now? A couple of other places have got to dry down, but it'll go completely matte, that you're not going to see a sheen on it, which is going to allow us to be able to control the finish. Now, this feels really good. Can I go in and put my wax on?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We need the My Drone beeswax. So now here's the other, and we're talking a lot about this because we're wanting to give you the caveats of the mistakes that people make. A lot of times they put way too much wax on. It doesn't take much. And we're showing you on this how to use the Mind Your Own Beeswax. There's all these different situations of when you can use different waxes. This is a liquid wax. It squeezes out of the tube. It's very easy to work with, and it does have carnauba in it that it will harden and be very hardy. The longer it cures, the hardier it gets. But Jean, do you want to show them how to apply it? Now, are you going to show them? Are you going to tell everybody use a brush or use a rag?
It depends. Every situation requires a different tool. So if I'm working on just a flat surface like this, I can use a rag because that way I won't apply too much as I would if I'm using a brush. If I'm working on a cabinet door that's got, let's say it's a raised panel or anything that's got carving on it, then I want to use a brush because I'm able to really flow that wax out, but I'll still come back with a rag and just lightly go over it to smooth everything out so it's not too thick.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to take some of our beeswax.
All right, we're gonna
Go.
hurry this up because we've got so many things to show you, and we want to see Leah's kitchen. So then you're just gonna finish this off after 2 coats of your matte sealer with the Mind Your Own Beeswax, and you see how little it takes to be able to get this with really good coverage. These are going to be some killer cabinets that you did not do a complete paint if you want to, and this is another great finish, we think, for furniture. So you can buff this, you can let it dry for about 20 minutes and then buff it, and it'll have a beautiful finish that you can clean. You can throw spaghetti sauce on this. You can throw chocolate nasty little fingers on this, and it will wipe off. I want to show you something. I don't want to get my surface wet, but I want to show you something. I'm taking some water. Look, the water, when you're working with a surface like this with the wax, part of the thing, you have gotten your matte sealer on here, you've got your wax, and it's just going to reticulate like this. So show them how you can wipe that off. You don't have to worry about food. On here, a lot of people are like, I can't use that on my cabinets because it's going to mess it up. I may have needed to have let the wax dry. I put it on before the wax dried. All right, so let's go on and move into our next finish.
Okay.
If you'll show them, let's grab this. All right, so I want to hold this up. So hang with me. We've got a lot we're going over today. There's 3 finishes. That was 1. All right, so babe, will you hold this up? T, will you take that other cabinet and just hold it up for everybody? Now, I'm doing a plug-in. I want you to be able to see. Yes. Guess what? Amy Howard at Home is getting ready to introduce a line of wallpaper and murals that we have been working on for the last 8 months. And so what we're excited about is we're going to be coordinating all the colors of our paints to be able to be coordinated with our hand-painted wallpapers and wallpapers and murals. So I wanted to show you one thing that's really big right now are blue kitchen cabinets. The great thing, T, can you come over? I want you to be able to see. This is the cabinet. This is prior. This was the cabinet that we painted. So being able to transform your white kitchen into a really happy, fun kitchen, the second way that you can do it is with the Miracle Paint. So we're going to walk you through, and then we're going to go live in just a minute with Leah on how she did her kitchen just this week with Miracle Paint. So I'm going to turn this down, and we want to walk you through how to use this particular paint. All right, so this is the color. This is the Miracle Paint. Now, we'll tell you, the color that we're using is called My Dragon, M-A-I, my, like Chinese, my, and then dragon. So it is a gorgeous blue that has great coverage, and I think it's just so fantastic. I actually love it with this one particular mural that we're going to be introducing, but it goes with so many interiors now. This goes with what?
This has got the Bauhaus Buff on.
Oh, it does? Where's our other cabinet door? Oh, right here, babe. Right here.
Oh.
All right. All right. So if they have cabinets, whether they are melamine, metal, wrap, like a melamine is a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
If they're wood or if they're painted in oil, can they use the Miracle Paint on top of that?
Yes, they can.
Yes.
If we just want to use the clean slate first, again, when we clean these with the clean slate, we got a lot of just grimy,
Yes.
grimy stuff off and things that you don't want on there before you paint.
Right. So something else, and that maybe you didn't see, but look what Gene put down. He put down some wax,
Risers.
some risers. So we just use fancy risers. We use our wax, but you can use cans of paint. But you want to be able to create a riser system to where you can get on the sides of your cabinet doors. Again, we suggest when you're redoing your cabinets, do not try to spray them or paint them while they are up. Now, I do like using a sprayer with the Miracle Paint. It gives you beautiful coverage. It flows very well. And, but we're going to show you, for those of you that want to be able to hand paint them. So we've cleaned this with Clean Slate, and it dried off. It takes about 20 minutes, and now we're ready to apply the paint. So Jean is going to be using a synthetic brush. You do not want to use a chip brush. Now give us tips on this as far as what we paint first.
Well, I'm just going to start with the outside. And again, know that especially since we're putting this a darker color on the light, notice that we're getting some streaky in here. That's okay.
Yes.
Because we don't want to put one heavy coat. We want several thin coats because that just dries better.
Yes.
You'll have less brush strokes.
So guys, this is the thing. A lot of people, when you're painting your cabinets, you think it's about getting full coverage that first time. It's not. It's better to do 2 really thin coats. The great thing about it is the Miracle Paint is water-based. You can clean it up with soap and water. And it really does set up in about 2 hours. wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, you can recoat in about an hour.
So, but the other thing is, I don't want you freaking out if it's kind of streaky looking. And the other thing is, that Jean will probably talk about, it's better to paint the outside first and then work your way in. Now, a lot of people will do combos of rolling and brushing, but here's the caveat. If you roll on the inside, you're going to have a different finish than you are if you brush it. And that can make a difference in your color. So it's best to brush or spray the whole thing on. So if you can work on this part up here, because they really can't see that down there.
Notice when I paint this flat, that's a raised panel, so we've got a lip down here. If I brush this way, you see how it'll leave a drip. So I brush over that and then continue.
All right. So now we're going to put 2 coats of Miracle Paint. We suggest light sanding with 220 in between coats.
And please wear a dust mask or respirator
When you sand.
because we never know if the existing paint or finish might have lead in it.
Right,
So we want to make sure that we're staying healthy.
right. So, all right. So T, do you want to help us cut away to Leah? All right, so we want to cut away to Leah. We want to show everybody her kitchen that she has just done in the one-step paint. She was getting her house ready to sell. All right, so I'm going to go on and move this up. And we're going to interview her. I can't wait to see it. All right.
All right. Hey, can you hear me?
Hey!
Hi.
Yes,
Hey. So,
I need to put my glasses on so I can see
oh, so
you.
this is not the this is not the kitchen. I have contractors there right now. They're currently working on it. But what I did do is I saved you guys some pieces of the before, and I have video, so you guys will get to see the whole thing. The contractors are working right now, but so you can see where I started. If you guys can see all of my cabinets, 52 faces of cabinets. Huge kitchen, looked like this. Everything just grimy and gross, and it was so sad. And I couldn't list my house looking like that. I couldn't. It was so sad. Spots where I had child safety protecting, and they left it was like that
So
tape that was left over.
when you took the child safety things off, it took the finish of your
It took
cabinets?
it took the finish off. It wouldn't come off. I had to scrape it all down. So 52 faces of this kitchen completely destroyed. And if you guys have friends, they are true friends if they come help you, because it's a big undertaking. But let me tell you, everyone who has seen this kitchen now truly thinks it's a brand new kitchen.
So
I had to.
you're not at that house right now.
Not right now, because I have contractors in there right now doing
Got it.
drywall repair, because I have little kids and they wrestle
Right.
and throw their bikes into the wall. So, but some of these cabinets, I actually had to completely take the finish off. They were so destroyed. It was in such like disarray. And then here, I did take one cabinet off that I finished, and you could see the difference. How pretty is that?
That's
And
beautiful.
Yeah, it came
Can
out
you,
really.
Leah, hold. Is there, you don't have anybody there that's helping you? If you do this, show us the before
Okay.
again.
So here is that before. It's really just, and this is tame. Like, it was the entire faces of the cabinets, and
We're messed up.
were just destroyed.
Okay.
It had been 7 years and 4 kids, and it just was rough. But then here is that beautiful finish. People thought I had new cabinets. I had to replace one cabinet door. This is what's crazy, guys. Repainting your kitchen can increase your home value by 2%.
Yes,
2%.
agree. That's what I was telling everybody. That's it. The kitchen is the center of the house. Now I am curious, what color did you use?
I used Bauhaus Buff.
Okay.
And I went with a neutral color. I'm here in South Florida. As you can see, this is a dark kitchen cabinet, but most people here really want that light, bright kitchen.
Right.
So, and it's easier to sell when it's a neutral color. So if it's your home, oh man, I would have picked a different color, but because I'm selling, I gotta go with a little bit lighter and brighter. And Bauhaus Buff is beautiful. It's not a stark white and it's not a yellow white, so it doesn't make the kitchen look dingy.
Right.
And then I love this paint because I tested this here on my old finish, and
Ketchup?
so you have ketchup because my kids had ketchup hands everywhere, and so
Right.
it actually stained the paint that was on the existing kitchen cabinets. So I'm gonna do something kind of crazy. I'm gonna get crazy here and look.
Well,
At
this is
first, I was
important. No,
scared.
I love that you're doing this because a
I
lot
was
of people
really
don't
scared. I'm like,
realize.
because ketchup has so much acid and it's
Right.
not a neutral pH,
Right.
so it has a tendency to be really rough on surfaces. And I tell you not, this wiped right up. Like, it's just amazing. No, and what's even funnier? I did I'm gonna ketchup everywhere now. I did my door in Miracle Paint a few years back, and that stuff is still looks beautiful. I don't have to
See,
redo it.
part of what that is so great, Leah. Part of what people don't realize, the reason for the miracle paint, it's a one and done. It has your primer in it, it has your paint in it, and it has your top coat in it. So it's all there together. There's no waxing, there's no glazing, there's no nothing. So it's a
Yeah.
spray and done. Can you
Yes.
walk us through, did you spray or brush coat your cabinets?
So because I have that the shaker style cabinets, they had to I had to do a combination of both. So
Okay.
for sorry, I gotta adjust you guys. So for I sprayed everything. And I agree with Jean. If you're gonna spray them, especially if you're new to spraying or you have a sprayer that's maybe not, that Cadillac sprayer, spray them in the horizontal position. Because if you're gonna be heavy handed, you're not
Yeah.
gonna have the drips.
Right.
Because most people, they want that full coverage immediately.
Right.
And so if you're spraying in a vertical, you'll get drips, and you don't
Right.
want to start cutting back on it or rebrushing it. You want it to dry. It's a lot like your Lux lacquer. Let it
Right.
dry, then
Right.
come back and sand it.
Right.
So I did both for the insets of the cabinet. Um, I did, especially if there was where I couldn't get some of that paint off, I did use a brush, your
Okay.
angle brush to get in there.
Well, I know that you're putting a video together for everybody, so that way we're
Mhm.
going to be able to show them the before, the during, and the after.
Yeah.
And then what would you say are the top 3 tricks that you want to be able to tell somebody you've just redone your kitchen and it looks amazing? What would you tell them as far as them redoing their kitchen? What is something that they need to know and be sure and do?
So,
And working with the
but
miracle paint.
with the Miracle Paint, so don't use crud cutter. I'm not kidding. I have a, in the video, I will show you when I used crud cutter on one panel and when I used clean slate, because I had to take some of that existing finish off. It had all kinds of wax and who knows what kind of manufactured paint was what was in it.
Right.
So when I used that, it didn't actually take off. And then when I put my paint down, I had bubbling. It wasn't drying correctly. It wasn't
Interesting.
leveling. So you definitely want to use a clean slate. As far as the Miracle Paint goes, if you're spraying, follow the guidelines. They're actually pretty on point as far as with your gun. It says for every gallon, use one. I believe it was a pint. So, and if you have a small size sprayer, divide that by 4 and however much, you're using because it's a quart. But so the guideline is correct. You want to watch your humidity because the humidity is going to affect your dry time and your recoat time. So for me, I live in South Florida. I ended up having to give it a whole day
To
before I
dry
can come
before
back.
you
Yeah.
put on your second coat. How many quarts of paint did it take to paint your kitchen with a sprayer?
So I was petrified that I was going to run out of paint because I had so many faces. And then I had to do the baseboards and I did the crown molding.
Really?
So I only used 3 cans.
What?
I swear. I only used 3. I bought 6, but I only used 3. Yeah.
Okay. So
How many coats?
How many coats?
I did 2 coats. 2 coats.
Okay, you heard it. This is what we're saying. And I love the idea because a lot of people are like, I can't afford a new kitchen. Yes, you can.
Yes, you
With
can.
this whole 5-week series that we're taking you through, painting your kitchen cabinets, painting your tile, doing your countertops, painting your wall, you can literally have a brand new kitchen for under $300. So
Yeah.
I love the fact that you had 3 quarts of Bauhaus Buff Miracle Paint
Mhm.
and you painted all of your cabinets. And you sprayed them because as a rule, spraying will take up about 20% more paint.
Yeah, so I have a little bit of a high end sprayer. So it's by Apollo sprayer. So
That's great.
they actually really focus on not having a lot of overspray.
Right.
So and
That's
then that's
big.
going to depend on your sprayer, you know. But
Yes.
even I actually took some of that extra paint and then I threw it in a because I have different guns. I put it in a Wagner gun and
How did they compare?
it's so Wagner gun sprayed a little heavier, so I did have to
Okay.
thin a little bit more. But if
Okay.
you're using a compressor or if you're using a machine that comes with like a motor,
Right.
I yeah, it's perfect. Just key in
Got
your
it.
gun. But this paint was amazing. And the thing is, don't touch it. You're gonna once it dries, even after that 1 hour mark, you're gonna be like, oh, this is gonna come right off. But you really have to just let that paint cure
Right.
because once it cures, that paint's not going anywhere.
Right.
So
And a lot of people, I saw them asking, why would you use Miracle Paint over a chalk based paint? The reason is the Miracle Paint is the primer, the paint, and the sealer all in one. It is a beautiful satin finish. Leah, can you just hold your cabinet door up one more time that's
yeah,
finished?
absolutely, yeah.
So that way you can see the finish
This
to
is
it.
this is over 20 years old. This door is over 20 years old. They don't even I had to purchase a new door because my kids broke one. It cost me for a small 17 by 20 $250 to replace
For
one door.
just one door.
So it's economical to paint
Yes.
a kitchen because
Yes.
it is so expensive. I couldn't imagine
Yes.
having to replace 52 faces.
Yeah. No, that would be a fortune.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you in so many ways.
Thank
But
you.
you're a beast. You're a boss. No, excuse me. You're a boss. And you
It
got
was
that kitchen done and you need to
I can't wait for you
celebrate.
guys to
And
see.
we can't wait for everybody to see the kitchen complete. We're proud of you.
Yeah, good. I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
You're
Thanks
welcome. All right.
for a great
Thanks,
product.
Leah.
All right,
Uh-oh.
bye.
All right, guys. So now we want to go to the third finish that we want to show you today. Isn't that exciting? 3 quarts of paint, of the Miracle Paint, to paint our entire kitchen. So that's what's great. Um, Sylvia, she was saying she sprayed all of it. She had to go in and clean and repair some things. She waited one day and then she went back and put a second coat on. And you saw how she was doing the ketchup over it. It's beautiful. It cleans so easily and it's beautiful to work with. All right, so now I want to show you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So just to add to that, sometimes, as Leah said, after a few hours, you want to take your thumbnail and just see how durable it is.
No,
Do not do that. Give it 5 to 7 days of cure time before you start using those cabinets.
cleaning them and stuff.
And yes, cleaning and doing anything where you're really using them, because it takes time for that to actually cure.
All right, so the third finish, and you can go back if you're just now popping on or whatever. Say hey, tell us where you're tuning in from. Be sure and share this video and tag some good friends that you know would enjoy seeing how to redo their kitchens. And we're going to be giving away product to the lucky winner that's drawn for 3 days. And we've given you a code that says I hate my kitchen 20. That way, all you have to do is enter that code and you'll get 20% off on the products we're showing you today. All right, so now we showed you, can you just hold up the drawer over there? Let's show them, let's recap, and then we're going to do this and we're going to be finished. Hang with me. So the first finish we showed you was being able to take that kind of yellowy, orangey finish. You can get this beautiful restoration hardware looking finish on it, which is great on furniture as well as cabinets. So that was finish number one. Finish number two was the Miracle Paint, showing you how you can get a beautiful satin finish like Leah did in her kitchen. And then number three, there's those of you that love more of an English country feel. You love being able to maybe scatter a few paintings around like I have here. You love antiques. You love it to feel very curated and homey. Then this is a beautiful finish. I will tell you, you're going to be surprised what this is. Now, a lot of people don't know, but our house when we lived on Cherbourg in Memphis was on the cover of Traditional Home. And our kitchen that we did was done in a Toscana type finish, but this is a new finish that I've not shown you before. And that particular house, that kitchen, everybody that came in that kitchen was like, where are these cabinets from? These look like they are very high end English done cabinets. And we were like, we did. We did the finish on them and they were like, there's no way. So if you love that really warm English finish, look at this. The patina to it, can you see? The patina to it is absolutely beautiful. And there again, if we're thinking about our wallpaper and really being able to create a gorgeous kitchen, I want to show you how to do this. So, Jean, if we got our cabinet door, all right. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't get paint on that. All right, so now, those of you that were asking about, let's hold these together.
Sure.
Just to kind of let them see. Plain white kitchen, gorgeous English, bespoke, I'll say bespoke kitchen, English.
That's a good word.
Bespoke English. Look at that. Love, love, love. It's as durable as the Miracle Paint as well. So what we did is we put a coat of Bauhaus Buff in the one step. Do you want to just show me the one step paint so that way they can see? So our one step is a chalk-based paint, but it does have a type of sealant in it, but it still has a very matte finish. So when you're talking about painting your cabinets in one step, can you? Absolutely you can. Please do use the clean slate first. As you were hearing Leah says, it just cleans your cabinets and gets them ready to paint. So I'm going to go on and turn this down because we're going to walk you through how to do this. So bear with me. All right, can we do that? Yes, I'm actually going to turn it this way so that way they can see. All right, again, the finish that we're going to show you how to do is this beautiful kind of English bespoke finish that is a beautiful hand rubbed wax looking finish. That's why we talk about things that look really high end, that look like a beautiful cabinet shop did it for you and they charged you a lot of money, but you're going to be able to do this yourself. All right, so Jean, walk us through. This has one coat of Bauhaus Buff on it. All right, so we're going to put our risers so that way it's up off the table.
All right, first thing we've got our Southern Gentleman milk paint. We have got our Central Park milk paint. And what we're doing, again, we're creating a color, a custom color.
Yes.
Using the two. just like
Love,
we
and
did.
that's what I did on this cabinet door that we're showing you. I am in love. I wish you could see this color here.
So what I'll do, we'll take the Central Park, which is a really nice blue, and it's going to be a same thing, a 3-to-1. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 scoops.
So, or you could do 3 cups of this color and 1 cup of this color.
Yeah, 3
So just to
ounces
make
of
it
one, 1
for
ounce of the
measuring.
other.
Right.
Yes, but it's just 3-to-1. I just thought this was the most an easy way to show it. And then here we do 1 of the Southern Gentleman.
So 3, if you're doing it, your cabinets, 3 cups of Central Park, 1 cup of Southern Gentleman, and you're going to mix them up dry.
Yes. So once I've mixed it, then as you know, if you've used the milk paint, it's approximately 1-to-1, 1 part milk paint to 1 part water. And we're just going to put a little in there. And I always start with less because you can always add more water. It's difficult to
To
add
the cabinet so they can just see
more.
it. To the, sorry, there, they can see it.
So this is kind of thick. And also, if you're not used to using milk paint, when you mix it with water, the consistency is thinner than your normal paints, whether it's one step, miracle paint, latex paint. It is going to be a thinner mixture.
All right, so we've got some already mixed up.
And we did that. The reason I mixed it up earlier is because you do want this to completely dissolve and to get all the little granules of all the ingredients. So I had mixed this up maybe 30 minutes prior to
Going live.
going live.
So again, this is the color that we're showing you that we mixed up. So you'll do 3 cups of Central Park and 1 cup of Southern Gentleman, and it's going to give you this really glorious English bespoke blue, which is all the rage right now. And we're going to put it over the Bauhaus Buff.
Because we're using milk paint, we're going to use a chip brush.
Everybody, did you hear that? Use a chip brush when you're applying milk paint, not a synthetic brush. The other thing is too, if you've got some streaks, if you're putting this on kind of thin, you may have different streaks. Don't try to put it on too heavy because we like putting on 2 light coats of milk paint.
Yes. And remember, we did Bauhaus Buff one-step paint as our base.
The great thing about the Bauhaus Buff One Step, the One Step, first of all, it seals your cabinet. It gives you a great surface to be able to work on. It really does a great job of self-leveling. And you do not want to put milk paint on top of a shiny surface. So I would never use Miracle Paint and then put milk paint on top of it. The Miracle Paint is all about having the primer, the paint, and the sealer in it. This is a totally different finish that we're showing you. So believe it or not, you'll be really surprised when you apply the milk paint over the one step like this. You think, oh my gosh, this is so messy. This is not going to look right. You're going to be so surprised. It's so forgiving and it dries really pretty. Now,
it's also going to dry much lighter.
Yes, it will dry much
It'll
lighter.
dry the color of the powder.
All right, so
Move that out of the way and you can show.
can I just dry that real quick for just a little bit? I want them to see how the color changes. All right, so we're an odd group. Yes, we love watching things dry. I just want to dry this part. I want you to be able to see. Look at this. See the color that it changes as it dries down? Can you see? Now I want to hold that. Can you see? Look at the difference. Look at the coverage. Is that crazy how you thought maybe it was, if it was messy or if it was, the coverage is pretty insane. But that's how your milk paint is going to dry down over your Bauhaus Buff One Step. I absolutely love this finish. All right, so now I want to show you again. This is the look that we're going for. I'm in love with this color. So you're going to have sneak preview over, this is one of the finishes that we're going to show you on how to do your kitchen cabinets in week 3 of this series. Next week, we're going to go over tile. Week 3, we're going to go over redoing your countertops. Look at this faux marble with this blue. Is this not killer? Let's add in, look at this. Like, are y'all just loving all this? Fabulous, love it. Okay, so this actually just has 1 coat on it, and I kind of wish that it had 2, but that's okay. So I want to be able to just show you. I'm going to get so after we did the milk paint, we did not put any sealer on it. Now, a lot of people will go, why? Hey, it's really not necessary because I will tell you, we would have, I want to say with our kitchen that we did this finish, I don't know, we would have 100 teenagers in there. Like we would have our small group. We had the youth department over. We used our kitchen and I cooked all the time. And so I am telling you by somebody that had this finish in their kitchen, that it is durable. So the Bauhaus Buff is protecting the finish. on your cabinets. And we've done the milk paint on top of it, the Central Park and the Southern Gentleman, if you go back and watch this video. And now we're going to add the light antique wax. Can you open that for me real quick? All right, so when I am working with my waxes, I'm always going to use a brush for my light wax and a brush for my dark wax. The meaning for that is I don't want to blend them, so I have a third color. Now, here's the other thing. Here's the biggest mistake people make, guys, when they're doing this on their cabinets or on a piece of furniture. They use too much wax. Look how I'm offloading it. Now, I'm going to come back, and what you're going to see is you're going to start to see this color get much darker because the wax is going to change the color and make it warmer. It's going to make it a little bit darker. And the other thing it's going to do, it's going to start to set in and give it some depth. I'm not going to do the whole thing for sake of time, but I just want to show you. Then I'm going to come back. Can you open that for me? Then I'm going to come back with my second brush with my dark wax. Now, can you bring that door back up here? I want to show them where I did the dark wax on the door. Always offload. Guys, this amount of dark wax should last you on about 10 to 15 pieces of furniture. If that gives you any idea of how much, you do not want to use very much of this at all. It's very, very, very little. All right, so you're going to come back, and I want you to just see. I'm going to show you how I'm going to move this over and then bring my cabinet door. And what I did when I was working on the cabinet door, I came around the outside with my dark wax, like this, kind of dry brushing it all the way around. So I've got this raised panel here, and I'm able to just kind of come on the edges like this and feather it in. I don't want to put the dark wax everywhere. And here's something that I would do. I would go online and I would order a cabinet door, or you can go buy them. You can buy a cabinet door at Lowe's or Home Depot, can't you?
I don't think so. I think you got to buy the whole cabinet.
You do. So you can go by Restore or Habitat. Or Goodwill. We went to Goodwill and got our bargain, and it allows you to be able to take the cabinet doors off, because that way I want you to paint your cabinet door first. That will build you the confidence. You can lay this finished cabinet door in your kitchen. You can see the sun setting. You can see the sun rising. You can see it with your countertop, and it will get you excited and really encouraged what you can do and redo in your kitchen. And if you've got to sell your husband on it, that way he has seen it and he's like, okay, I get it. I'll help you. You got to get his buy-in. All right. So now I'm just going to come back after I've let my wax dry for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to buff it. Now, one thing that you noticed, I did not use any antiquing glaze on this. None. I had Bauhaus Buff. I'm laying 2 coats of my milk paint on top, and that's it. If you get any granules, just lightly sand it with 220, and then I'm doing the wax. There's no antiquing. This isn't about it making it look antiqued. I am wanting an English bespoke finish that has a beautiful patina to it that will allow me to be able to get ketchup, look at that, or anything on it. And that way, if I get spaghetti sauce on this, if I get ketchup on this, all I have to do is wipe it off. It's going to be very hardy, and the longer it dries, the better off it will be. So let me think. I'm looking at a question. Do you think I can do this color with brown tile countertop? Well, here's the deal. Look at this. I'm going to show you how to paint your tile countertop where it can look like this. So we can make a really clean look that's very updated with paint. That's what I want to be able to show you in this whole series of I Hate My Kitchen. So y'all have been so great. I feel like this has been the painting marathon. And
There's a lot to digest.
there was a lot to digest, but we wanted to show you 3 completely looking kitchen cabinet finishes. One, if you want just a beautiful satin finish that's very hardy, go with the Miracle Paint. If you want a very bespoke finish that's very kind of English, that would look great with tile and marble, then I would do the finish that we just showed you with the milk paint. And then if you want to be able to have that restoration hardware look that has that overglaze, that just to be able to get rid of that orangey look on your cabinets and make it look and feel updated and clean, then you can do the glazed finish that we showed you very first in this video. So hopefully this series is going to be exciting, and it will allow you to be able to go, I've got a plan. Next week, we're going to show you how to get rid of the ugly tile that you have. Maybe you have a tile countertop. Maybe you have a tile backsplash. We're going to show you how to be able to neutralize that, so that way your kitchen cabinets are going to be able to be beautiful. And then in week 3, we're going to take you into how to be able to transform and create different finishes on your countertops. And then we're even going to go more into painting your walls and putting colors together and really being able to create a beautiful environment for you to live in and enjoy with your family. So these are very hardy finishes that you can use and enjoy on your kitchen cabinets. And I can't wait, frankly, to see all of the brand new kitchens, because then you'll be able to say, I love my kitchen. Isn't that exciting?
It is.
And I love the fact that Leah shared it only took her 3 quarts of Miracle Paint to paint her entire kitchen and her trim. That's very exciting. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget, share this video, tag some good friends. Your name will go in for a drawing that we will be announcing in 3 days. And then the other thing is, take advantage of the I Hate My Kitchen 20. We'll give you 20% off on the products that we used here today, because we want you to rescue, restore, and redecorate your kitchen. Have a great day, everybody. We love you guys. Mwah.
Happy painting.
Yes.